everyone, welcome back to the Wolblom Knitting Podcast. I am Lisa. You can find me as the Wolblom on Ravelry and on Instagram as well. Okay, thank you for everyone for joining me today. I'm sorry this one took a bit long to film because, as you may see, I'm in a new location. So me and my fiance found a new apartment. We moved and I was busy setting up everything. So I'm now in my new craft room and I will show a bit later how I've been setting everything up. But yeah, first things first, I'm wearing a finished object. This is the Iluminate by Andrea Mowry. The purple I used is Knotty Habit's 2-ply Merino linen in the Lady Luck colorway, and then the white is African Expressions Hope, which is the natural colorway. I'll put the number up on screen. And before I go on, every pattern and yarn I mention will be linked down below. Okay, yeah. So this pattern, I was planning, and in my previous video I did mention I was planning to use a grey Nurturing Fibers Kid Silk, the Lunar colorway, for the contrasting color. But when I started it, it looked a bit muddled. So I tore back and then use a off-white color to make the contrasting colors. A bit closer. So this is how it looks. Now, and it's so cozy and the fit is perfect. But yeah. I'm so happy with this one, and it didn't take that much longer. I did struggle with the sleeves specifically to change the color for the stripes. So you may see here, I did try to do what do you call it? I'll put the name of it on screen. But I struggled with that, and because of the smaller circumference, because it's in the inside of the arm, I didn't worry too much about it. But yeah, this is how it looks. I love the fit, and the mohair for the colorwork section is very soft and gives a nice bit warmth up on the chest. But yeah, that's how it looks. Okay. Next finished object is my belly pullover by Sari Nordland. That's how it looks. So this is the belly pullover, and I used Wool of the Andes from Knitpro, the yarn that Ali from the Black Spruce Knitting Podcast sent me. Yeah, and I love this sweater. I can't stop wearing it. It's so cozy. The one thing, the cuffs are a bit bigger, so there's no that much, or there is a bit sleeve shaping here, but not much to the point of the cuff. So the cuff is a bit big, but there's then room for like a vest underneath or a t-shirt underneath for extra warmth. But I don't mind. I don't think I would have changed it any other way, but that's just something I would mention if someone else wants to make this sweater. But I really love this. Happiness. I'm very happy with it. Okay. Next finished object is my sock cowl. So this cowl is designed by Ocean, and I use Knotty Habit's single ply or single fingering Merino linen, and this is the metal colorway, and I think the beige is short braid. I can be wrong. So with this pattern, you start at the bottom here. So there's a twisted ribbing, and then some Estonian braids. There's the main color Estonian braid, then 2 colors Estonian braid, and then the contrasting color Estonian braid. Like there. And then this main color work section is also known as Estonian inlay or rosamond, and it's where when you knit, you don't work the contrasting color. You do not knit it. You just hold the yarn in the front, knit a couple of stitches with the main color, and then hold the contrasting color at the back again. So you weave it in between your knit stitches. So that's how you get that type of texture. And then at the top you have a Latvian braid and then a drawstring casing for the I-cord drawstring. Yeah. And at the back there is a little piece of, or just small inlay with some slip stitches going diagonally. Yes. So that's one cowl. And then I have some socks done. So these are the Rosalind socks from Sarah Nordland, and this is part of her Summer Sock Cowl 2022. And this was the first one. This was the May sock, and I used African Expression Soul for this sock, and I made it shorter as the one in the design. So this one specifically is cuff down with a heel flap and gusset, and then just a regular toe like that. And then in the previous video I said that this design here looks like a Cape aloe plant to me. So these two are done. And then the June socks was the Ariel socks, like that. This one was toe up with a lace design and a heel flap and gusset, and then twisted rib cuff. This yarn is from Ballyhora Fibers, and I was gifted this yarn by a viewer. Yeah, so I finished this pair as well. Yeah. So that's all my finished objects for this month. I have another finished object. I'm going to show you now. Maybe it's not a knitting type of project. It's a sewing project. So it's going to look huge, but this is the Apricot Pinafore by Coco Wawa Patterns, and I used a corduroy fabric, cotton corduroy fabric from Lori Fabrics, and I made this pinafore dress. It's a bit oversized and it looks like a bit doll-like, so I make it a bit more grown up by wearing my combat boots and some black stockings with it, and a felt hat. So yeah, so this is my pinafore dress, and yeah, I really like working with cotton corduroy. It's easy to work with in a sense. It doesn't slip when you sew, and yeah, I like this dress. I'll try to put some B-roll of me wearing this dress and my belly pullover and my Iluminate sweater on screen as well. Okay, time for whips. So this is my Kylie shawl by Isabel Kramer. I haven't made a lot of progress on it. I'm struggling a bit with this one. So I'm going to designate a specific day for this one. Hopefully that will work. Like afternoon and lunchtime knitting will be on this one. But yeah, so this is the Kylie shawl, and I'm using John Arbon Alpaca Delight in the white colorway, and I got this yarn from Colors of Amalfi. Yeah, just need to finish it. I I bought 3 skeins of the Alpaca Delight. I'm only going to use 2 of them. I just almost finished with the first skein, so this is left of the first skein. So I'm only going to use 2, and then the second one I will see what I'm going to use it for, or the third one. 2 I'm going to use, the third one I'm going to use for something else. So yes. Then, second whip is my Straya cardigan. I don't think there's much progress done yet since last time. The whole fisherman's rib is a bit time consuming, so it's not the most satisfying project to work on because it takes that much slower. But yeah, so this is the Straya cardigan from Andrea Mowry, and I'm using African Expression Soul for all the yarn in this project. So yeah, I just need to do it. So that's all my whips now. For my next projects, no, I'm going to do a yarn acquisition first. Okay, so yarn acquisitions. I only got 2 skeins this month. So this is Knotty Habit, her 2-ply fingering merino linen in the Sable colorway. Sable or Sable colorway. So it's a beautiful light pink. You can say off-white with a pink tone to it. It's very beautiful. And Knotty Habit did mention to me that she's going to have this like as a constant color. She will always dye this specific color and have it in stock. So I'm going to use this one for the Couture top that Sarah Nordland recently published. So I'm very excited for that, for this summer. So that's my yarn acquisitions for this month. I have a weird type of acquisition. We went to a antique market in June, and then I found this little gadget. It's an MP handy guide, British made, for knitting and crochet. So it looks like this. So it's just a guide, like counting how many rows you have worked, how many increases you have made, how many times, and decreases as well. And then there's a small gauge ruler at the bottom. There. Yeah. So it's just a interesting gadget, antique gadget that I found. And I saw it on the table at the antique market, and I saw the ruler at the bottom, and I'm like, that looks like a gauge ruler or some type, because it's 4 inches 10 centimeter. So when I looked at it and saw the inscription, it says the guide for knitting and crochet. So that was interesting and cool. Okay, time for next projects. Okay, so for my next project, so last month I chose the Iluminate sweater and the Couture pullover from Sarah Nordland, as well as the Tiny Tassels shawl by Karen Fernandez. I didn't do those garments, so I have a lot of socks to do, because the socks are the summer sock cowl. So the next one is the peregrine socks, and put a picture of it on screen. And I'm going to use African Expression Soul. This is the 7287 colorway, and this is beautiful pink. I used this color as well for my Midsummer Dancer socks earlier this year. And then next month, the August sock is going to be a combination of the 3 previous colors. So it's going to be these 3 together. So this one is the 7286 colorway, so it's a beige. And this is the Ballihora hand-dyed fiber colorway. And then the pink one. So I'll use these for the 4th sock, but that's next month. So next project is the Peregrine socks. And then I'm also doing last year's sock knit along as well. So last year's 3rd sock was the caramel kiss socks, and I'm going to use this African Expression Soul 7062 for that. And then the tiny tassel shawl, I'm going to use this Miss Lamotte's single ply lace, single lace. I think it's singles lace. Cloud Whisper is this colorway. I'm going to hold it double, so I caked up the skein into 2 equal to cakes, so I can hold them double. And then the tassels, I'm going to use some leftover yarn I made my palette socks with. So yeah. And then the couture pullover, this is Miss Nurturing Fibers twist sock, the Lunar colorway, with held together with the Nurturing Fiber Kid Silk Lunar colorway. So this was the one I wanted to use for this sweater, but the colors were too muddled. So they're the same colorway, so I'm going to hold them together to make the couture pullover. And the pattern did call for a fingering with a lace kid silk. So yes, that's my next project. I want to choose another one, but yeah, maybe I'm going to choose one more sweater, but I'm not going to choose a sock because I have a lot of socks. And then I'm going to just choose so no socks, no cowl or accessory. So I'm going to choose a sweater for now. Okay. So this is my drawer for my winter garments. Okay. So the next one is the pink fist pullover from Andrea Mowry. I'm quickly going to grab the yarn I'm going to use for this. Okay, so I'm going to use this Lily Rose Dye Works Wemmick sock across the moor. So it's a sock base yarn, 75 superwash merino, 25% nylon. And it's a beautiful speckled yarn. And then I was afraid when I received this yarn, it was going to be, because the pullover has a lot of detail on the side, so I want to add the mohair that will bit subdue the speckles or the color in the yarn. So this is African Expression Soul, the 6133 colorway. So I'm going to hold it together. It's going to make a slightly brown pink sweater, but I think it will be okay. So yeah, so that's one new sweater. So usually I do mention some other podcasters that I listen to or have listened to this month. This month it was a bit hectic, so I didn't have a lot of time to go and watch other podcasters. But one that I want to recommend is Mel from Mel Makes Stuff. She's very she's very inspirational. She's very good at what she does. But yeah, okay. So that's all my knitting and sewing projects I want to show. I'm going to add some extra video for my craft room, how it is looking currently, and my yarn cupboard. So here's my new craft room. It's on the loft or the second floor of the apartment. So here I'm just hanging some of my hats, felt hat and a straw hat. And then there's my dress form with my Iluminate Pullover on. My table with my sewing machine and serger. Some threads. And then on this side, just added some flowers. Probably gonna add some more for some decoration. And then my sock blockers with my Ariel socks on them. And then there's my knitting chair with my sheepskin. And then I have a little trolley with some of my knitting supplies and notions. Then my sewing chair. Then some lovely wood floor. Here are some of my knitting whips, and so I have a very big closet here. So it's two, this one and this one are shelves, and this middle one is a it has a clothing rail, so it's a bigger closet. So I'm just keeping my knitting bags on this hanger, and in this one I have all my sewing supplies. So that is my winter fabric, my summer fabric, and then some projects that I want to make as soon as possible. Some other knitting stuff, patterns and other notions. And in there's some scrap fabric that I can still use for something. And in this cupboard, I have some of my coats in here that didn't fit in our closet. Some of them I made myself. This salmon one, this green one. This I made myself. I made this one as well with some faux fur, cuff and collar detail. A wool coat. And then this blue coat as well. In that box my father made for me, I have some of my craft supplies in there. And then it's a bit disorganized already, but in this green box is my sewing patterns. The envelopes also has some sewing patterns, and then in this basket I also have some of my sewing patterns as well. So, and then this cupboard is my knitting or yarn cupboard. So that's how it's looking at the moment. So at the top there, that's my scrap basket. And then the second from top is where I put my Swift and yarn winder while I'm not using it. And then this one is my summer yarn shelf. All my yarns. This one is my winter yarns, and then some of my cowl and hat projects, and these two are the yarns that Ali made for me or spun for me. This one is also some of my winter yarns, and then down below is sock yarns. Yeah, so that's my yarn cupboard at the moment. So yes, this is my sewing space at the moment. I think I'm liking it at the moment. It's very bright up here, so it's very great for sewing and knitting as well. I hope everyone enjoyed this little podcast. I think it's a bit shorter than usual, but yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for joining me, and I hope everyone has a wonderful month. If you want to, there's a link down below to my Ko-Fi link. If you want to tip me, that will very much be appreciated. Please. I hope everyone has a wonderful July and that your dreams may come true. Bye bye.